Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Jeremy, good evening. Jeremy, it's the first time you're here, aren't you? Protocol, gender, age, where you tuning in from. And Nets, where have you been? And you forgot the protocol too. How are you? Good to see you here. Ash is here from the UK. I remember that. Says, I've got my tea with me this time. Good to see you again, Miran. Good to see you as well. And where's the protocol, Ash? God damn it, you guys forgot. Ash says, I think I might need a one-to-one session because I have lots of shit I need to get off my chest. Yeah, you bet. You know what to do. Go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, and click on Talk to Mehran via Skype. Make a 1 hour appointment. And for new clients, I usually throw in 1 hour on me. So that'll be 2 hours. And we'll have ample time to hash out and explore what might be concerning you. And Nick is here. Kia ora matua Mehran, male 43, New Zealand. Hi, everyone. Hello, Nick. And Kia ora to you as well. And good to see you here. Sid is here. Salute, General, he says. Well, good morning, Colonel. Where have you been? Glad to see you here. Hope all is well with you. Male 32, Estonia. And Mark says, hi, listening on my night walk. Long time no see. Mark 36, US. Long time no see, but we've been here. So where have you been? You've got no excuse. We haven't abandoned the fort. And Mark says, how's the ugly stick? Oh, ugly stick sends its regards to you, and it's been looking forward to see you, to have an opportunity to introduce itself in more direct way and personally introduce itself to you. If you have been a good boy, taking good care of yourselves, then ugly stick will just say hello. Otherwise, it would like to sit down and have tea with you. And so, all of you. And Atif says, hi, Mehran, 38, male, New York City. Hello, Atif. And Ash says, male, 32, UK. And thank you for that. Blocker Games member Ben Turbon. Okay. Says, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Rockstar Games members Ben Thurbon, please, guys and friends, you are my biggest fans, guys. Rockstar, what the hell are you doing here, banging your your trombones for for subscribers? You think this is a real big channel that will that will help you out because it's such a popular channel? We are hardly found here, dear. I mean. We are hardly found on YouTube, let alone having a big presence to at least have a percentage or two of the thousands who are on the live stream would come to your channel and subscribe. But I can do this for you. Everyone, there is a person here by name Rockstar Games member Bentorbon. So if you like to check his channel, I don't know about him. I don't know his channel. I've never seen it. I don't know what it is. I take no responsibility. But just because I mean well for everyone to be successful, if this is a appropriate channel, you can check his channel and see how it is. And I don't think he has ever joined our group at all, but he says, you guys are the best. Well, that's good promotional behavior. Rockstar, glad that you glad to help, but I hope that your channel is actually something proper, so we wouldn't be promoting something that we don't know what it is. However, you're welcome if you want to stay and ask your questions if you have any. If you just wanted to promote your channel, well, it's done. Ash says, of all the places you could find to promote your channel, you found this one. Yeah, but who knows? You can check his channel. Maybe it's a good channel, and you can help him out. All right. So we got 10 people here, 5 likes. What are the rest of you guys? Don't like the channel? 10 of you here, brought your butts here, so click on the like. What's holding you back? definitely not me. It's not mine intention. So we have, still we don't know where Jeremy comes from. Jeremy Bally. And Nets, remind us where you located. You know, I have this notion, perhaps misguided, that because for a week people keep sending me questions and comments and I respond to them, and every time I tell them we have a live stream on Saturdays, I thought like Saturdays there would be a lineup, would have at least 100 people who've been waiting for it. But looks like people seem to want their questions answered on the comments when they want it, but they're not going to make an effort, like some of you who do come actually on Saturdays or whenever we have a live talk, or at least have clicked on the bell. So if I go live just spontaneously, then you guys get notification and come and ask your questions. So I would like to see a little bit of an effort on, helping the channel by crowding it on the live stream moments and talks and times, and so help people to see that we are actually in existence rather than just sending your questions and never show up on the live streams. That's what it is for. I mean, if I want to answer everyone's questions singularly every time, all through the week, do you know how much time and effort it takes, which I have not denied, and I have always complied and be there to help? But I want to see some discipline. This is not for you guys, you people who are here. This is for the people who will be hearing the recording of this live stream later and understand that the whole purpose of live stream is that to see that you guys are here and ask your questions in the hour or two that I spend with you, rather than me sitting and worrying about you guys because you have a question, you're uncomfortable, and I want to help, I want to be part of the solution, and then end up, putting away what I would have to be doing during the day and just answer a ton of comments. So bring it to the live stream, and then it will be, well spent time, and also answer all the questions at the same time, rather than, it's not just fair. I know. It's not fair. So, Jeremy says, I'm not seeing anything on my screen apart from empty room. You're too late. That was before I came here. And if you're here to just, be cute about it, it's just being unkind. So why don't you hang around and see if there's any content here, and for that you can ask a question. And Rockstar Game says, thank you so much, guys. You're quite welcome. And NetsNet says Germany, and thank you for that. Rockstar Game says, please like my videos, please. Rockstar, what the hell are you doing? This is a live stream for you to ask your questions, not to constantly, anyhow. Jeremy says, I see it now. Okay. Mark says, advice on staying disciplined for example, fitness and financial goals, and how to not be hard on yourself and destructive when you go off track. First of all, when you go off track, you don't have to be destructive, but you can be, discipline yourself by reminding yourself. Just sit down and have a little conversation with yourself. I mean, you guys have all kinds of, especially in this in this venue of OCD, you guys have lots of conversation going up here anyhow. So why don't you make one on purpose and sit yourself down with a cup of tea and say, listen, let me explain it to you, what it means to be disciplined and why. For example, if you want to go to the gym and you fall off the track and you're not disciplined, translate going to the gym to the benefits and to your life, to what you want to achieve. Obviously, you want to have fit body and you want to impress girls, and therefore you can translate the reason you're going to the gym is a possibility and making it easier, bringing about certain hopefulness in order to, when you meet a girl that you like, should be pleased that you're disciplined, having been taking good care of yourself, and at least it would give you a little bit bonus of she would be maybe more interested in you. Of course, being fit is not the only thing girls are looking for. They're looking for substance and how you treat them, how you communicate with them, how you bond on consciousness level, and all the other stuff that they are more into than you maybe think they're into. You guys are looking at girls only how fit they are, because that's how we are built to focus the beauty and the fitness of the girls. But they're not just settling with that. They want a lot more, which you're not thinking of. And you should also expect a lot more from them, because they're intelligent beings and capable, and you should expect from a capable person more than just what is God-given to her. So therefore, that's one thing. And secondly, if you are talking about finance and your job, well, interpret what that does if you do your job well and if you take care of your financing. Well, if you look at it and interpret it into your life, it means what? More comfort, more psychological security, more feeling of confidence, more feeling of having things to offer. Let's say you find a girl that you like, or you want to buy something, or you want to go on a vacation. You have that means, and imagine all the possibilities, going somewhere that you like to go for vacation, buying the kind of a house or a car or an apartment or whatever gadget it is that you want to buy, or you want to give a gift to someone that you like or you love, or family member, friends, whatnot. You can translate the outcome of those efforts, your financing, your work, to what it would make a difference in your life, how it would improve your lifestyle, how it would improve your feelings about security, contentment, ability, affordability, confidence, and the way it would actually show in the way you walk. When you have money in your pocket, you walk differently than when you don't. The same thing, if you have money in your bank, you walk differently with a little bit more of relaxation and confidence. So if you translate all these benefits that comes to you as the result of doing your job in a disciplined way, the best way, taking care of your financing and understanding why you're doing that, then there's more chance that you will actually adhere to that, and you will take better care of your financing. You will go to the gym regularly because you can see the benefits, and you've translated that benefit to your life. And that is how you actually motivate yourself to do something that you think it's right for you to do and you want to accomplish. Okay, Rockstar is just here to promote his stuff. He keeps talking about what he does, what games he plays. All right, that's wonderful. But look, Rockstar, don't you think the reason your channel perhaps is not as big as you want it because you're actually putting your efforts in advertising, promoting it in the wrong places? Here, people are here for breakups, OCDs, and subsets of OCDs, and discussions about their life problems. Do you really think it's a perfect forum for you to? Do you think they'll actually listen to it much? So I think perhaps you gotta spend your words where it's the proper place for it, or time. All right. And Ali Ahunbar says, "Hi Mehran. Let me click this to show because it's hold for review." It says, can anxiety and OCD cause fast orgasm when you masturbate? Like, for instance, if you masturbate to girls, then it takes too long, then you imagine something intrusive. Nah, why would you imagine something intrusive? No, don't do that at all. In fact, stay on course, because you're trying to train your synaptic neurons in behaving in a certain way by you promoting it rather than doing something that you actually want to stay away from it. No. If it happens that while you're busy, an intrusive thought shows up, well, no, who cares? Let it show up. You do your thing and focus on what you like, and doesn't matter. You just do your business. But don't purposely go on, because why would you? And Rockstar says, Rockstar, don't you think it's kind of inappropriate? Like, we've been really helpful and friendly here and trying to actually help you when we don't even know who you are, what your channel is all about. But actually coming here and continuously, and now you say, do you want to be in my live stream tomorrow, guys? And you're all invited. See, this causes me to be insulted, because you're now not here to ask questions. You're not here to promote, at least support this channel that is giving you a certain kind of a service and information. You're actually trying to use this channel. This is rather contrary to our philosophy and policy and what we promote here for people to help each other. You're just trying to, So I'm going to give you a little bit break, okay? Because I think that is inappropriate. So I put you in a little bit of a time thing, so you'll kind of figure out that wasn't good. Or maybe I'll let you stay, and if I see another one, then I'll do that, right? Okay? So here you are. Just enjoy the program, and if you have any question, ask, but it would be inappropriate constantly try to promote your channel. You've done enough, and we've done enough. Everybody knows about it now. Then more than this, they actually will think that you're not a person to want to have anything to do with your channel, because you're abusing another opportunity inappropriately. So you're welcome here. Ask your questions, and whenever whoever happens to be in your live stream, they will help you to grow there. And Netsnet says, hello, Mehran. My girlfriend broke up a long time ago, but the whole time we were always writing, and she always said she loves me recently too, but she was with her ex who treated her badly. Then let her be. Everybody is responsible for the decisions that they make, so let her make that decision. You're not her daddy, and you're not responsible for her stupidity or mistakes or whatever it is that she's doing. Net says we had contact the last time out, but less, and she never said something concrete. I felt left in the dark. What in the dark? It can't be more clear than that. She broke up with you. What dark? There is no darkness after breakup. It's a very clear, concise signal. She broke up with you. You guys are not together. So there's nothing dark about it. Yeah? And today she says she doesn't feel safe. Please log in. I need you. I want to talk with you. Look, don't be sucked into her moods. She has a fight with the ex. I guess she feels unsafe. She wants to talk to you. Then tomorrow they make up. Then you're in the limbo. Just give her a simple answer. Say, listen, I'm here for you, but you got to make up your mind. And can't go on, because you can't be just thinking about yourself, that when you feel unsafe, you come to me. Otherwise, I don't see the relationship with you, and you go back to some other guy. So make up your mind right now and then. Which one is it going to be, and you're going to be committed to or not? You're going to be committed to me? Come. I would like that. If you're not, then don't call me, because I have a life and I want to go on with my life. I'm not here to, deal with your mistakes or your problems that you create for yourself. You have a choice, and you made a conscious choice. You broke up with me and you went to that guy. Now, what do you want me to do? Deliver you to that guy every time you have a problem with it? I'm not going to do that. So you make up your mind, and that's the end of that. That's it. Get out of that life. If she's not going to be for you, you have no responsibility toward her. She's a grown-up woman. She's made a choice, and that's the end of it. By the way, how old are you guys? Nets? Why do you guys don't give me the information that you know you should at the beginning of the question? Where are you coming from? You said Germany, okay. I know your gender. How old are you? Remind me. And how old is she? I need to know these things. I don't want to give advice to someone who's like, I don't know, not legal age, or at least, I don't know anything about them. Please, comply. All right. Ash says, sometimes I get urges to emerge into society again, but when I try, I realize how out of my depth I am. I think I used to be quite sociable and charming, but now I just feel invisible around others. Why should you have to feel visible or invisible? Why don't you just be? You see, the thing is, you are having an imagination of your presence in the society as if it's on a billboard and somebody's looking at it. You expect others to acknowledge your existence or non-existence, while it's all you that you're enjoying that society and that connection and that environment. So that's all it matters. Don't worry about how you're visible, how popular you are, and just be there. There are chips on the table. You whether like to have chips or not. So if you do, enjoy the chips. Don't worry about, who's going to think that I had some chips? And who's going to think maybe I should have had some, I don't know, tomatoes? Who's going to think that what I'm doing? Who's going to see me what I'm doing? Who's watching what I'm doing? Don't act life. Just live. You want to be there? Be there. You don't give a shit who sees you, who doesn't see you. You want to see you, so you want to walk there. You don't care about who's seeing you walking there on that, whatever it is, sitting there, having your tea or coffee. Who do you care? Sees you doing what you do. You care about having that tea or coffee, so sit down and enjoy it. Your life, your world. You be the observer rather than expecting people to observe you. Don't give a shit. You observe. You don't need to find out who is actually seeing what you're doing. You're not making a movie. You're just going through this journey. And you're taking the picture for yourself, not who's taking pictures of you. Do you get me? So relax. There's no need for anybody to be aware of your existence. As long as you are aware of your existence, that's all that matters. You do the things the way you should do, as proper as you can, beneficial to you, and also not hurting anybody or any member of the society in any way, shape, or form. You're living. Your contribution would be positive in that way. That's all you care. The rest of it is nonsense. Don't worry about it. And Ash says, I have a really low self-esteem as a result of all this. I look to friends to advise, but I feel like people have given up on me, or maybe they're just shitty friends. Yeah, maybe, but the thing is, why would you expect them to give you any advice? What do you think they are? They're just another people who they themselves have lost all kinds of questions in their own mind. Just assess your situation by yourself as best as you can. Find answers to your questions by research and knowledge, which the information is available. And make your decisions on the basis of what's good. And it doesn't have to be the absolute best decision. It's just to be as best as you can make it. And if it's really critical, don't make it. Just, talk to specialists in that field. You know, like imagine if you're having a physics or chemistry experiment. If you're sure about, okay, that many molecules of Cl with that many molecules of natrium, it's going to give me NaCl, Cl and A. I'm going to make salt. But if you're not sure what the combination and the molecules should be, then you consult a chemist, an instructor who is expert in that field. Then you won't end up making something that is poison rather than nourishment. Salt, right? So, otherwise, it's not that complicated to make small decisions, simple decisions. And who do you think those friends are? Experts? How did they become an expert? Just because you don't know something, that doesn't mean somebody else necessarily knows it. You got to know if that somebody else is qualified in that field. Then you can ask your questions from, or rely on their decisions. Their decisions is just answering your question. They're not involved in it so much. It's not going to come back to them, so they can say whatever they want to say. I don't know what the hell happened to my hand. Wasn't feeling like this last night, but it just hurts for no reason. I don't know. Old age? Are you kidding? And says, I have really and then says, given up on me, or maybe they're just shitty friends, but I did push them all away. Okay. And I don't mean to brag at all, but I've always been very successful with women, but now I feel like a bull in china shop when I try to talk to a girl. Because you're trying to prove something. Stop proving. You know, you're not talking to girls for getting to know them. You're talking to girls to tell yourself, oh, you see, I'm heterosexual and I have none of that nonsense that been in my head, the OCD, HOCD and stuff like that. They don't exist. Those are just thoughts. So just when you're talking to girls, talk to girls not trying to prove something to yourself or assure yourself of something. Just talk to girls because you want to talk to them, that's all. And things become just as normal as it's always been. And he says, most of the time I don't even feel worthy. Really worthy? What do you think these girls or friends that you have done to be worthy? Do you think they feel worthy? If they do, why? What have they accomplished in this life that you think you're not worthy because you haven't accomplished what they have, and they are worthy because that's the only thing that should be accomplished in this life, and they have? What? They've done the studies? Well, that's good, but that's no reason to feel unworthy because they've done, I don't know, finished their studies or something. It's just something that everybody does, or some do better than the others and some don't do, and they do better in life. It just has nothing to do with anything. Or what have they done? Have they brought peace to the world? Have they brought what? Cure to common cold, that you think, oh, they're all worthy and I'm not worthy. What makes them worthy and what makes you not worthy? They're just as worthy as you, and you're just as worthy as them, and they're just as unworthy as you, and you're just as unworthy as them. We're all unworthy or worthy in the same manner. What are you judging people for? What? Against yourself? In fact, the reason that you're really not having that many friends, usually statistics shows most intelligent people don't have that many friends. Simple. As simple as that. And that's fact. Because most people are stupid. They do weird things. They don't know where they're coming, where they're going, where they come from, what's their plan, what they're doing. They're just a biological entity, eat shit and do whatever they do. But then they put up clothes on, smile on, and you think in that one snapshot that you see of them, oh, they've probably got it all figured out in life. That's why they have good clothes on. That's why they're smiling. That means they have no problem. They have figured everything out. Bullshit. They got shit in their brain, just like you and everybody else. Don't judge people by looking at them. Oh, they just came out of their car and they're walking, so that means everything in their life is set and perfect. Only mine. Well, yours, because you know about what's going on in your life. You don't know anything about what's going on in their life. And what you don't know, you think is perfect. And what you do know about, you know the shortcomings and you know the challenges, and therefore you judge them based on complete facts. But you're judging the others based on no facts, just because of the appearance seems to be smiling, which represents, oh, I'm okay. Bullshit. Everybody's got shit in their heads and lives. So don't think that way at all. All right. And we have Rockstar says, I work hard. I do. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Rockstar. You're just losing support as fast as you gained it. I don't know what you're doing. How old are you? Why don't you tell us a little bit about you? What's your gender? What's your age? And where you're tuning in from? Steven says, hello, Meran. Hello, Steven. Good to see you. Male 40, Los Angeles. And Steven says, you helped me. Oh, I lost it. Ooh, I lost it. Where is it? Ash says, Mehran laying down life advice to a YouTuber trying to promote his channel. He can't help himself. All right. Where was I? Steven says, you helped me realize the problem I have with intrusive thoughts. Yesterday at work, as soon as one would come up, I'd recognize it and dismiss it. That's my boy. There we go. You simply have to be alert about recognizing intrusive thoughts and calling it for what it is. That's intrusive thoughts. I'm not going to entertain that. That's not me. That's OCD. That's not me. That's intrusive thoughts. That's not me. That's HOCD. That's not me. That's OCD. And that's the end of it. Don't deal with it. Move on with your best judgment. Good for you, Stephen. And Rockstar says, I will go now. Okay, Rockstar. And Maliha says, hope you're fine, Mehran, female 27, Pakistan. Hello, Maliha, dear. Where have you been? Haven't seen you for a while. Hope you're doing well. And FRH says, hello, hope doing well. FRH, we need gender, age, and where you're tuning in from. Before I read your question, I need that protocol. Gender, age, and which country you're coming from, you're tuning in from, you're watching this live stream. And I'll get back to you as soon as I have that. All right. And Rockstar is talking to himself. Says, I'm going now to watch a movie on Netflix. Rockstar, I'm not sure how old you are, but I'm not sure really if you know what's appropriate to what place. What are you saying? Do you really think that this is like what? What is your book club or something that you just, like, everybody knows you? Okay, I'm going to watch a movie. Okay, I know it's very friendly. That's wonderful. But honestly, right now people are here to do something. They're not really that concerned or enthused about what you're going to be doing in the next 5 minutes. Anyhow, all the best and have a nice day, and thanks for joining us for a bit, for whatever it was for. And everything says, hello, I'm suffering from OCD. How do I cure without medicine? Is this curable without medicine? Yes, of course it is. Of course it is. Of course it is. Did I say of course it is? Of course it is. Don't get that shit into your system unless it is something so amazingly difficult that your psychotherapists, after having helped you so much, and no, don't use any medicine or any shit like that. These things are understandable through understanding roots of OCD and recognizing it, and then by knowledge you'd be able to reprogram yourself through your behavior and your understanding. Through neuroplasticity you rewire yourself and you become aware of it. OCD is not something uncommon. Almost everybody in the world has some kind of an OCD, one way or another. Why? Because the human being shares the history where it comes from and the programs that have been instilled in every one of us and our forefathers, and that has found its way to us because it has been migrated from thousands of years ago due to the happenings and the conditionings we have received through this journey of life. So all the insecurities, psychological insecurities, physical insecurities, all the concerns, all the striving for permanence and certainty, these have always been the questions in the mind of a human being, since thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. In fact, since we became capable of thinking and speaking, which was 40,000 years ago. Before 40,000 years ago, we hardly had any problems because everything was running instinctively like animals. We lived like animals. We had no real elaborate brain as we have right now. We just have this stem brain, and everything was instinctive, survival based. Eat, exercise by looking for hunt and stuff like that, sleep, have sex, fight, survive. There was no thoughts involved. There was no question of sexuality because there was no thought involved. Thought is the roots of all problems. Thought suggests things, and the fact that you believe the suggestions that comes from an independent system called brain, but yet you think brain is yours, so whatever shows up, pops up in it, you take it personal as if it is representation of you. That's when you get fucked up, because you haven't understood that for millions of years you had no such brain that could speak or create thoughts, and you were under no influence of anything other than instinctive needs: food, sleeping, safety, sex, procreation, whatever it is that an animal needs. And then you ended up having the interference of thought and mistakenly thinking that brain is you. That's what you do, and that's what you get fucked up. But recognizing that the brain is a apparatus that you use to do things with, and it's there to be an assistant for you to use it in order to make life easier for you. But itself has its own malfunctions and problems because it is an apparatus added onto you. So there was a you, and brain was added to it. Not that brain is you. No, there is a you, and then there is brain added to it. It's no different than saying but is me. No, but is part of you in order to process some things and do things that you need done so you can survive. Like you eat food, it turns into energy, and then the feces and the residues need to be got rid of. So you're not the but. But is part of the me. It's created, it's these components. It's like saying liver is me. No, liver is necessary for you, and as long as it functions properly, you need it. When it doesn't, well, they find another one for you. Otherwise, you die, right? Because it's necessary. But it's not you. It has a mandate. It has a job. It's part of this structure that it has a certain mandate, certain duty to do, right? For you, that isn't important to function properly. But you recognize when it's not functioning properly by either noticing it's hurtful or its functions, malfunctions, and you go to doctor and you figure it out. They do tests and so on. Now, the brain is also an addition to you, an apparatus that you use to do things with. But it is not you. So what it conjures up, you got to recognize it as if it's useful to you, if it's something that is pertaining what you want to do, or if it's something that is conjured up on its own. Now, 80, 90,000 times a day, it conjures up things on its own. It's got nothing to do with you wanting any such thoughts popping up or be present. But its job is to make thoughts. So it keeps doing it. Your job is to sift through it and filter these bullshits that it does, like the quality control guy in an assembly line in a manufacturing plant. These assembly lines keep bringing all these products that are being made. But if there's a wrong ingredient in the product, if the quality does not match up, something's gone wrong, the quality control guy looks at it on the specs and qualities and whatever characteristics it should have, and it doesn't, and says it's rejected. This is not one. We are not going to select this product to be serving our customers or be in the line to go to the market or be used. And you should be doing the same thing. Brain is a manufacturing plant to make thoughts. You are the quality control and the owner of this manufacturing plant, and you decide, you select thoughts that are healthy and thoughts that are nonsense, and it's not relevant to you, it's not meaningful for you, to you, it's meaningless, and you got to recognize that. So you got to become really good at being an expert to recognize the bullshit, the what that is not connected to being any good to you or part of your interest at all. And you recognize that by becoming expert in recognizing it. So when it shows up, you call it for what it is. That's an intruder. Just like you have a home and you know who's supposed to be in this home or not. You have a girlfriend or you have a wife, you have family, you have children, your grandpa, grandma. These are all okay to be there. But if somebody else shows up, alarm goes on. Boom, boom, boom. Intruder alert, then you call the police, right? These are what you do. But you don't do that for your fucking brain. You don't do that for yourself. When some thought shows up that is contrary to what you're all about, your gender, your sexual inclination, your natural interest, the things that is meaningful to you, the things that are useful to you, when it doesn't qualify it, then you're supposed to recognize it as an intrusive. But when you guys think that this is just a public toilet, anybody can come in and do their business, and you don't have any standards and qualification for who gets to be in here, who wouldn't, then you get all kind of shit becoming active in your brain, and you're trying to deal with them rather than simply say, hey, I don't select it. This bullshit shouldn't be here. That's it. Not that, oh, what does this bullshit mean? Oh, you're here. That means I've got to prove to you that you shouldn't be here. I'm not this. I'm not in agreement with what you're here standing for. None of that shit is necessary. You just say, hey, sir, you have a ticket for this bathroom? You don't get the fuck out of here. Simple. But when you don't do that, then these thoughts start becoming their residents. You know? Like an empty house that somebody gets in there and nobody notices, and after a while, they kind of feel like they own the house. And you're supposed to be aware of it. So when a thought shows up, that it's not having any business being there, because automatically you know who you are. You've always been. You're the past. You know what your past has been. You know how you've been put together. You know how you've been created. You know what everything about yourself. You know that. And if this thought is contrary to that, you got to call it intrusive thought, OCD, HOCD, or pedophile OCD, or religious OCD, whatever OCD it is, you call it for what it is, and you're done with it. You don't deal with it. You recognize it, and once you recognize it, you go on your business. Yeah? Same thing. Somebody shows up in your home that is not supposed to be there, is not invited, you don't know of it. Intrusive. Alarm goes off, call the police, get rid of it. In your case, it's your house, you got to get rid of it. In the case of the brain, it's a metaphor. What you do, you just ignore it. Yeah? But the point here is the recognition of the person who's not supposed to be in your home. Recognition of the thought who is irrelevant to who you are, what your lifestyle is, what you're all about. That's the point here. But you got to recognize it and go on. Look, before you didn't have to do that, because your system, which automatically is aware of everything about you, your inclination, your sexual inclination, your gender, it's all known to your system automatically. So the protective systems and the behavior of your whole system would naturally, automatically discount and get rid of the intrusive thoughts. Why? Because there is a system called striatum. Striatum is an area in the midbrain that has the reward center, goal-seeking center, and habit center, all in the same. They're connected. So in particular, there is a part there called caudate nucleus. A caudate nucleus is pretty much like an automatic shift in a car, which when it gets to a certain speed, it shifts into next speed, and then it shifts down when you slow down, it shifts up when it needs to. All of that automatically takes place. Now, caudate nucleus's job in that description is to automatically, just like the automatic shift gear in the car, to shut down intrusive thoughts. When there's an intrusive thought that shows up, caudate nucleus, through the amygdala and thalamus and all the other, prefrontal cortex and all the other known information in your body, who you are, what you're all about, what your inclination is, what are meaningful to you, what is meaningless to you, then caudate nucleus, your system naturally knows all that. So based on that programming, which is how you've been created, and it's imprinted in your program, based on that knowledge, that programming, pre-programmed when you were created, caudate nucleus knows what thoughts that naturally brain makes 90,000 thoughts a day. Its job is to automatically shut down the meaningless thoughts, the intrusive thoughts, because it knows what you're all about and knows what thoughts are irrelevant to you. And in order to make your life easy so you don't have to deal with them singularly, it shuts down because it knows what things inappropriate in your world, in your gender, in your system. So that's why all these 90,000 thoughts a day that is created by your brain, you don't even notice them. You notice them for a second, but quickly caudate nucleus cuts you, move away, move on, and separates, and then clears the road for you to go and do what you want to do. And you don't hardly see it because it's couple of seconds, you notice an intrusive thought came in, and caudate nucleus cut and knows everything, shuts down, and then you continuously kind of sweeps the road for you to walk on and go, cleans out the area of debris and stuff that is unwanted and undesirable. So you will have a peace of mind. It's like having a guards to clean up the undesirables and people who are meaning harm, and they make sure you're safe. That's what his job is. But sometimes, due to all these things that are happening in the world, sometimes, for what reason or other, caudate nucleus malfunctions. The automatic gear shift that is supposed to click in and separate you from intrusive thoughts and clear the way for you, it doesn't work. It malfunctions because it's an electrical system, the brain, all neurons and just like a computer. It malfunctions. When it malfunctions, it doesn't shut off that intrusive thoughts that clearly is intrusive. And you say, what the hell? I'm accustomed to anything that shows up because caudate nucleus constantly automatically shut off and cleared the way. I didn't have to deal with anything. So I'm accustomed to things to be naturally clear for me and my head to be cool about everything and clear to think about the things that is part of me, not to be bothered with things that are intrusive because it was always done automatically by my servants and guards were taken care of. Now when it's malfunctioned, you say, oh shit, I gotta, what is this? I gotta deal with it. What am I supposed to do? I gotta prove to the thought, as if thought is an entity, I gotta prove it that this thought does not pertain to me. Why is it there? I'm not of this inclination. I'm not interested in this thought. I'm not interested in this behavior. I don't have these behaviors or these intentions or these interests. So you find yourself having to prove now to protect what you've been always and what you're all about. So when it malfunctions, you need to simply recognize, have a system become better to do something manually, which means recognize the intrusive thoughts. Don't fuss with them, just recognize them. And once you know that these are undesirable thoughts, have nothing to do, they're irrelevant to you, they're meaningless to you, they're not part of your life and system or preferences of any sort, then you simply, by that recognition, you put them behind and you go on. So in other words, like getting the shit out of the way when you're swimming, you know, just like the frog swimming, you get the stuff out of the way pretty much. You get the water out of the way. Imagine there's stuff in the water, so you're getting in the way to move on. That's what you should become good at, selecting and recognizing what thought is useless and getting them out of your way. This behavior will eventually bring caudate nucleus back online because it doesn't do its job automatically, but the way you behave with intrusive thoughts by recognizing them and don't fuss with them and let them be, because all kind of thoughts have the right to be there. Why? Because brain makes thoughts, and you're not supposed to be teaching anything to brain when it malfunctions. You're supposed to ignore it, not get into debate with it. So with this behavior, caudate nucleus gets rewired. Through neuroplasticity, the neurons relearn what they're supposed to do, and eventually it clicks back in. Until then, you got to be very, very clear on your selection and don't fall into the rabbit hole of trying to deal with these intrusive thoughts. No, just leave them behind. Do not worry and do not meddle in what it means. I have to have a meaning for it, and I have to prove to it that this meaning does not pertain to it. No, none of that shit. That's a wrong path. You disregard whatever it means. It doesn't matter. As long as it's just recognized as intrusive, that's good enough, and then you move on. You just focus on the fact that this is intrusive and it's got nothing to do with me, not about the meaning of it. What did I do? What does it mean? What should it mean? Or that it suggests to me that this is what I feel. No, none of that shit. Just let it suggest what it wants. You just recognize it. This is not my interest, and you move on. That's how you deal with this thing, and then eventually caudate nucleus gets back to its natural automatic function. And when it goes onto a glitch and malfunction again some other time in life, then you know what it is and you know how to deal with this. So eventually it becomes less and less, and eventually it corrects itself. And if it doesn't, whenever it doesn't, you know what it is, and you become an expert in actually driving the car manually, which means without even, after doing so many manual behavior of of dealing with these sort of things, that behavior becomes automatic again, because it becomes your habit of the way you deal with things. Even though you've been selectively dealing with it and making selection and judgments and recognizing intrusive thoughts for what they are and so on, manually without caudate nucleus doing it automatically as it always did, but even that becomes your habit and it seems like it's automatic again. And after a while, caudate nucleus clicks back on and you're fine and dandy with that. And you can't stop thoughts, because that's what they are. The whole world is about thoughts. But just like so many people in the world have different opinions about different things, and you ignore all the things you hear because it's not of your interest. It's a different opinion. They can have it, but you don't have to comply with it, and you have your own ways. Same thing. Brain makes thoughts, and you don't have to listen to it, or you don't have to even pay attention to it. As soon as you become an expert to see that this is intrusive thoughts, not of my interest, that's enough. You drop it and let it be, and you go on. So that's what I had to say about that. All right. So where are we here? Jesse says, Mehran, I just want to say that I appreciate you. I know the channel isn't as big as you want to be. Still, there are many people who are happy that you are here. You're changing my life forever. Oh, thank you very much, Jesse. I love you too, and I thank you very much for this fine feedback. I'm delighted to hear if I could be part of the solution to people's problems, and that makes it all worthwhile. And thank you for that. I appreciate that. And let's see. FR Age says, male, Germany, 14. 14 years old. Guten Tag. Wie geht's heute? And thank you for being here. But do your parents know that you're here? Because this channel is not for people for under the age of 18 and sometimes 17. But I know that sometimes you have questions. So let me know if your parents know that you're here. If they're aware or they're sitting with you, by all means, you're welcome to be here. And I will address your questions. But I need to know that. Could you help me out with that? Could you let me know if your parents know about you being here and they approve of it? And I'd be grateful. And I would be more than happy to read your question and discuss it for you. All right, let me have a sip of tea. I think I was talking for God knows how long. Nice tea. Love it. This is just regular green tea, nothing exotic. But, yummy. All right, let's see who we have here. Everything, again, please observe the protocol, guys. I got to know your gender. I got to know your age. I got to know where you're tuning in from. So everything, please lay on the line, everything. Let us know who you are. And he or she, I don't know, says, hello, I'm suffering from OCD. How do I cure without miss? Oh, we talked about it, didn't we? Jeremy Bailey says, can I ask your advice, please? Jeremy, did you include your gender, how old you are, where you're tuning in from? Let's see. With every question, please include that three little things. M for male, F for female, whatever your gender is, a recognition of that. Age, and then where you're tuning in from. Three things, simple, like M30 UK. That's good enough. Or F for female, 29 Germany. You know, something that I would know who you are. And so, Jeremy, I need that. Jeremy says, I wasn't being unkind at all. I just thought my screen was being slow, lol. Oh, okay, sure, okay. No worries. And you've helped me a lot over the past couple of years. Okay, delighted to hear that, Jeremy. Okay, thank you. Just let me know gender, age, and where you're tuning in from. I'll get to your question right away. Jake Hartal says, good evening, Mehran. Sorry I'm late. I'm from Italy. I'm 19. I'm a male suffering HOCD. Okay. And then Jake says, bye. Why bye? You just came in. Jake says, good luck as well. I don't know what's going on. All right. Look, when you guys don't let me know your gender, age, and where you're tuning in from, I just move on, and then it takes so long to come back to you, I may miss your questions. Everything says hello. I am Shahrukh M, 20 from India. Oh, like Shah Rukh Khan, the famous actor. From India, and I'm suffering from OCD and want to know, is weed is especially harmful for OCD patients, and some doctors told that OCD is only curable with medicine. Is that true? No, they're full of shit. The doctors who said that it's only curable by medicine, they're fucking full of shit. In extreme cases when nothing has worked, and that means some fucked up situation, then some doctors use medicine. But that's not to say OCD. Almost everybody in the world has OCD. You know what kind of a talk is that? That everybody goes on medication for what? For having the glitch. If you understand your brain's mechanism and be able to become an expert in understanding how to deal with this mechanism, then you will be able to handle OCD and all other kind of OCD, because you understand what is involved. It's thought-based. It's insecurity-based. It's psychological security. It's permanency. It's certainty. It's all kinds of other mechanisms that could cause this. It's not a sickness. It's a disorder. It's a malfunction. That if you know what it entails, then you will deal with it. Just like you get a horse and you say, well, should I give medication to this horse so it can do what I want it to do? No, you got to learn how to ride it, how to communicate with it, the proper signals, and you train it, rewire it, condition it, then it will become, the horse is going to serve you and it's healthy. Without having pumped it up with all kind of drugs that is, okay, where do you want me to go? By the way, oh, there? Okay. It's got no understanding, but just under the influence. But when you train it well and communicate well, it's sharp, strong, and willful, and knows how to deal, and you know how to deal with it. So you ride it well by communicating well, by knowing each other's glitches and systems. So that's what you do with OCD. You got to understand it. It's not a disease. And those cases just, you know, there are some cases that they use medicine, but that's not. Okay. All right. So, and Jeremy says 38 Cornwall, UK. Thank you for that, Jeremy. Let's go back to Jeremy. Jeremy says, let me see where Jeremy says. All right. Jeremy, I believe, has written a book for us. So strap on, guys. We're going for a journey. So everything says, hello, I'm suffering. Was it? Oh, no, Jeremy. We're looking for Jeremy. See, I get all messed up when I don't know who it is with. Okay. All right, Jeremy. Where is it? Where's the first one? See, this is what you guys get when you don't introduce yourself. Okay, there it is. Jeremy says, can I ask your advice? Please. I broke up with my girlfriend beginning of August. A knee-jerk reaction, which I regret to this day. She was completely heartbroken and told me she loved me. I apologized but didn't chase too much. I left her alone for a couple of weeks. She's now in a rebound relationship. I would take her back in a heartbeat. We're so good together. What would you suggest is best thing for me to do? And Jeremy says, sorry, we're both 38. She has 3 children and a grandchild. Well, you know, the best thing to do is talk to her. You're not the decision maker there, and she's not the decision maker. You're half of the decision. But my question is, this is October. You broke up with her in August. She's already in a fucking relationship. And I mean it literally. It wasn't supposed to come out like that, but it actually makes it all clear for you that 2 months after you break up with a woman that you say you're so good together and she loves you, and yet she's in a relationship with somebody else, what kind of a credibility does this relationship have if within 2 months rebound? Yeah, you want to call it rebound, she's going to call it rebound, but don't you think if it was you, I don't know, maybe that's the way to go. I don't know. Is it a serious relationship with her, with the new person, or is it, as you say, rebound? If it's rebound, well, talk to her. Say, listen, this is how it is. This is how I felt at the time. This is what triggered it. And this comes from probably my, I don't know. Let's figure it out why I said that, why I did that. Let's explore it together. What are the roots of it? What has been happening during the past while that caused me to have a, knee-jerk reaction? There has to be a trigger for it. What I think what happened is this. You did this, I did this, I did, they explore it together. And then say, look, I want to overcome it because I do agree with you that we're good together. And I want to make that work. I don't think you would be doing yourself a favor to start something at a rebound and to establish and build something with someone new. And while it's new, you think, oh, it's great because it's new. But none of the layers have been peeled away for you guys to really know each other's psyche. But you and I know each other's psyche. We're far beyond that initial stage that makes things look palatable and all rosy. We're beyond that. We know what is rosy, what is not, and that's where the relationship should really be. But you, with this guy, you don't know anything about him, and you think everything is rosy because at the beginning everything is rosy because everybody's going out of their way to make things seem rosy because they want something. It's all new and they want to put their best foot forward. But guess what? As soon as this initial time is past, you may find things that you say, holy shit, what am I getting myself into? Then you start getting to know the real guy, real person, and you'll see this so different than what you and I had. And that then might be too late, because I may have really then given up because thinking that you're not thinking right and you are putting me in the category that was meaningless to you because you're settling with something that is maybe totally different than me. And I can be very upfront with you and positive about a relationship now that I realize things about myself and I want to explore it with you. But then I may not be in that mode anymore, and you may not be. You may start getting used to this guy and you try to build this guy for what you need him for, and then you start following what the image you have made out of this guy for you, while it could be totally different than what it is you are making this guy to be from his reality, his actuality. But you know about my actuality, and I know about your actuality. We have much less questions about each other. We need to fix on things because these sort of things can come up with any relationship. And as soon as we get rid of them rather than abandoning them just because they come up, then we can maybe go towards some better and stronger and more solid foundation of a relationship, rather than just, okay, I said this, okay, and you got pissed off and you got disappointed or disrespected or however. Our egos come into the picture, and I don't know what I was thinking, but let's figure it out together. So that's pretty much would be the kind of discussion you would have. And if she has any sense, she would be more than willing to figure it out and listen to you. And together you can go through that. And if she didn't, well, then move on. All right. I hope that's helpful to you. And Mariana is here, says, hello, Meran. I'm working right now. I'll watch the video later, but I wanted to stop by, say hello, and leave my like. Oh, thank you very much, Mariana. Gracias. I appreciate that very much. Jocelyn Basile or Basile or Basile. It's safer. Jocelyn, where's the protocol? It says, man, 41 years old, 10 months relationship with 3 breakups. Ooh, that's beats any record. 10 months, 3 breakups. All right. Let's listen to Jocelyn. And Jocelyn, is Jocelyn man's name or woman's name? Or do you have a reason for that? I mean, that name means something else other than your name. And what about where you coming from, Jocelyn? Let me know where you coming from. Like, where are you? So I'll get back to you as soon as I have that information. Ash says, well said, Meran. Pharmaceuticals are not the cure to psychological equation. Of course not. Nonsense. Jocelyn says, I'm French. Oh, bonsoir, monsieur. Comment ça va aujourd'hui? And bienvenue. So let's go to Jocelyn. Jocelyn, you know, we don't get too many French people on our. I mean, I've probably have had subscribers or participants from all corners of the world. But France has been the one thing that maybe we have had only 1 or 2 people. And one of those 2 people were just studying in France, but were actually British or American. But maybe 1 or 2 French people. So I'm delighted that you have found our channel and you're participating in a live talk. I'm more than happy to see what your question is. Jocelyn says, 4 months after breakup, now, of course, remember that he said that 10 months relationship with 3 breakups. So he says, 4 months after breakup, how can I forget my ex and how to focus again on me? I have difficulty doing my work. Any advice to be able to work properly? Well, look, I have an elaborate discussion on this. I have over 1,800 videos, 2,000 videos on this channel. Out of these 2,000, at least 1,200 of it, or 1,400 of it, it's about breakups and how to move on. So you have an array of help. You have a arsenal of help on this channel. It's the right channel for you. You just have to go into the search engine of my channel, put in a word that describes your feeling, like how to move on, or missing X, or missing, or anything, one word, and you will see a number of videos. Or you can go on the playlists that I have. You see the playlist names, titles, it says how to move on. You're missing your ex because of this. You're this and that. You have everything you need on this channel in order to answer your question. So what I'm going to be saying here would be just a little bits and pieces, but the actual response for you and how to move on and your mindset would be there. Actually, if you go on my site, there are different packages there that it helps you to get over the breakup, and it's got all kinds of videos included in that package. And then there is something called the mindset. I want you to get your look. Actually, in my Instagram, I had a system that anybody who would sign up, I would send the mindset to them free of charge, which I can do that for you as well. It would be very helpful for you to know the things you should be doing and things you shouldn't be doing. But I have all those videos on the site. Let me see if I can find the video of mindset, because I also have it in paper version and also have it in video, which means you can read it off the video. I'm not going to be reading it for you on the video, but it's the video that has the pages of the mindset that it goes slowly, or you can pause it and read it, and the next is just like the one that I would send in paper form. So hang on a second. Mindset. Well, this one is different. It says pain after breakup. All right, that could be useful. Why you are in pain after breakup? Can I change my mindset and be happy again? Oh, okay, maybe I'll put that in for you too. I've got so many videos that I don't even know what it was or what was I smoking when I made them. But there is a video. I'm still going to be looking for that. Hang on. Have a sip of your tea, guys. I'll be helping Jocelyn for now, just for a second. Look, if you just put the word mind in the search engine, mind, you will have all kinds of videos, such as she's always on my mind, what to do, hot and cold, why she changed her mind, how to become master of your mind, copy of your, okay, it says, of your mind, it's okay, it says, intrusive, she's always on my mind, this is another one. And there's so many of them, but I'm still looking for that mindset. Mind reading, unlock your mind, the ultimate breakup cure set in text. Yeah, you probably want that package. Mindthatseekstruth.com is my site, mindthatseekstruth.com. And you have the ultimate breakup cure package, and also mindset in text. That's the one I'm looking for. Mindset in text. Oh, well, listen, why don't you send me your email, and I think I have a copy of it. Either I send you the email of the link of the email, link of the video if I find it, or I send you that copy of the mindset. Or maybe I will set up a system where we can use that to enlarge our audience by giving that away. So anyhow, so go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, and go into the sending me an email through the site, and remind me of this mindset text that or the video link that I can find and send you. Or put it in one of the comments somewhere, that I will do that for you. And Jocelyn continues, says, French, yeah, and says, so last breakup was 4 months ago. She started dating new guy, and seemed in love more than she's ever been with me. I want to move on. How to forget her? Yeah, all those videos that you're looking for, it's there. I have them. It's already on the site. So just putting what you just say here in 1 or 2 words, or just go on the playlist that you can see. This playlist pertains to what you're looking for. How to move on, how to forget her, how to forget somebody, this and that, so forth. Jocelyn says, it is hard because she lives 50 meters away from. Oh, yeah, that's a kicker. I understand that. Yeah. So you need those things. Okay, so do that, and I will try to send you, when I get a chance, the mindset video or the mindset file. And Atif says, hi, Mehran, 38, male, New Jersey, New York City. I recently had unprotected sex with someone I didn't know that well. I'm clean but need help from doing something like that again, because I got carried away in the moment. Well, just remember what you're saying right now. Next time when such situation arises, quickly remember your concern right now, because at that moment you will be blocked by hormones and the excitement of sex, and your brain stops functioning. That's what we are programmed to. In order for procreation, in our genes, we have a certain kind of a thing that blocks our brain's rational thinking when we're excited to have sex. So that very moment, you must remember not your rational thinking, just remember this conversation that you're having with me. That's going to be easy, because that's not anything other than just remembering a conversation. And then through that, you will remember your concerns, and kind of shakes you up to, okay, have protection, then have sex. If you don't. Simple. You can't be doing the wrong thing and expecting right results. You can't be doing the wrong thing and hoping that 100% things will go your way. So do the right thing at the right time, then you can expect the right result. That's what you should be focusing. Am I doing the right thing at this moment, which would bring me the result that I'm looking for? Ask that question from yourself before committing to anything. Am I doing the right thing as I would see it after I have done it? Am I doing the right thing as I would think of it after I have done it? Put yourself after you have done it. Would you still be thinking this is the right thing? Which that means putting aside all the excitement, all the interference, and thinking rationally, focused on the result and the effect of the action after you have done it. Always think, how am I going to be thinking and feeling after I have done this? Have I taken all precautions and calculated all the risks as much as possibly I can? Have I? If I have, okay. If I haven't, well then, hold on, Jack. You want to have the good result, then you got to make the right decision. And the time to do the right thing, the time to make the right decision, is before you commit to the act of that decision. The time to make the right decision is before you do that, whatever it is you're about to do. So focus on that. Now, Ash says, I think you missed Stephen's question starting around 2148. There's no time stamp here for me to know where it is, 2148. Did I, or have I already addressed it? And no, I think I did. Oh, I did miss it, didn't I? Okay. Let's see. All right. Steven says, you helped me analyze, okay. And, okay. So, Steven says, male 40, Los Angeles, you helped me realize the problem I have with intrusive thoughts. Yesterday at work, as soon as one would come up, I'd recognize it and dismiss it. All right. And then we go to the next Steven's question. Continuing, says, I know there is so many girls out there, but I've always had a problem becoming attached to one girl. I've seen your Pebble video, but what's the best way to realize there's so many more out there? You don't have to realize it. That's a fact. It's like standing in front of the ocean, say, how can I realize there's so much water here? You're in it. You're in front of it, and you're swimming in it. That is the fact. You don't have to see everything to believe that there is so many girls available. Look at the statistics. Where are they? They're available. There are over 8 billion people on this earth. At least half of them are girls. Right? So you know for fact that there's a lot more girls around. You don't have to see them all. It's like saying, how many oceans are in this world? And you say, well, I only see one. Well, that's because you're here and the ocean is here. But there are other ones, right? So knowledge and data and information is out there. So focus on that. That gives you the information you're looking for. You don't have to meet 10 girls a day to say, oh yeah, there are so many available. No, they're available. If you haven't come across them, it just means you haven't come across them because you're busy focusing on one. But once that one is no longer your concern, then you'll start looking again. It's like an animal who is hungry, finds food, and when it's having that food, then no longer is aware of existence of other food because it doesn't care, because there's food there. Lions, if they're not hungry, they're not going to tear you apart if you're not causing any danger to them, because they have food in front of them, and that has satisfied their need. So when you are in a relationship that has satisfied your need and you're focused on that, but the fear of not having what you really like and you're having is the problem. Not that thinking there's no other women out there. There are, but you're not focused on them because you have your food in front of you, so to speak. So you're not concerned about the existence of other food, other possibilities. Yeah? So once you actually recognize that you are not aware of the existence of the abundance because you're satisfied with what you have, then you realize that, okay, just because you're satisfied doesn't mean that there's no more possibilities out there. They're there. That's for fact. I just am busy with this. But if I wasn't, if this doesn't work, I'm damn sure that there's a lot more out there and I can find another one. So that should be your support system. So you won't be so shaky or paralyzed if she doesn't text or whatever, you know. And he says, there's so many more out there. I need to learn how to take all the importance off of her and go on through the day without thinking of her. Well, you're trying to focus on the importance out of her. Where did that importance come from? It comes from your desire for her. Remember, we said at one of our discussions and videos that the importance of things and people is equal to your need and desire for them. Importance of things or people is equal to your need or desire for them. Yeah? If you want to buy a suit or a briefcase, or if you're a lady want to buy a handbag, the importance of that product is based on your desire and the need for them. If you want to go on a, party and you need a new suit, or you want to go on an outing and this lady needs a new, brand name handbag, then that becomes important to her because there is a reason for it. There's a need for it, yeah? But if she doesn't have a need for it, she doesn't want to go anywhere, she doesn't want to have a handbag suited to her new dress or attire, she wouldn't be hunting for it, she wouldn't be interested in it, she wouldn't be paying the price, she wouldn't think it's important because there's no need for it. Now, same thing goes with anything else. If you have need for her, that's why she's important. Otherwise, on her own, what's her importance? What has she done? Other than the fact she's another biological entity and she's doing what everybody else is capable of doing according to their education and training and so on. She's doing what she's doing and she happens to be, interesting to you. And you like her looks. You like sex with her. You like intimacy with her. You like to get to know her. You like to hang around and bond with her. So that's you and your need and interest that makes her to become important. On her own, what has she done? Cured a common cold? Brought peace to the world? All the elderlies are safe and children are fed because of her? What is it that makes her so important? Nothing out of ordinary. She's just cute. She's pretty. That's all. But your desire for her has made her become so important to you. And that same desire that you have is yours, stays with you, is part of your characteristics, which you can therefore use it to make somebody else important and need another woman in case this didn't work. So because you are the source of the importance of other people, based on your need and your interest, therefore you will never be alone, or you'll never be running out of this beautiful circumstance that you're looking for. Because if this didn't work, you are the source of gravitating them towards you or finding them, because you have that what can make them seem important, your desire, yeah, your need, and you unleash it on somebody else and that person becomes as important as this one is. So don't think that if she goes then you don't have somebody that could be that important and that interesting to you. No, you made her important and interesting because of your desire and need, because that's how you're built, simple. So all right. So where are we now? So who's next? How many people have we jumped over to continue different bits and pieces of questions? Ash says, "You're right, Meram, but you missed the first bit of my message. Lol. I never used to care what others thought and enjoyed life very much. But now I'm totally self-conscious because of HOCD." Well, when you really understand with all the videos that I have and all the links of the researchers and scientists and psychotherapists and psychologists that I have put underneath the videos that I have made for you to refer to and learn the movement of mind and how the brain functions and malfunctions, then by now you should know that HOCD is just a fucking bullshit. Although it seems so real and affects you negatively and you really hate it and it annoys you and it does that to everybody, but in fact and actuality, the essence is fucking bullshit. It's thought-based. It messes with your brain, and because brain is so powerful, what it conjures up makes you think that it is true, while it is just a brain, an apparatus of you that says that, because it's stupid and it is not you. It just conjures up thoughts from whatever information that has somehow seeped through its memory, its consciousness, and it has become aware of it, and its job is to make thoughts out of whatever information that floats out there. People's lifestyles, people's personal lifestyles, different interests in life through videos, cinema, movies, publications, discussions, and everybody's personal living style and inclinations and interests is up on this stage and talked about on TV and everything, and all that information, all kinds of situations and stories and discussions and I don't know, products and projects, and all that information through mediums of different kind finds its way to the consciousness of yours, and the brain picks up on anything that it gets its hands on and makes thoughts. And because it's so powerful, it makes it seems as if thoughts is you. But you should be smart enough and understand that if there was no you, there would be no brain. If there was no you, there would be no thought. Therefore, there is a you first. And then there is a brain, there is liver, there's kidney, and there's all the apparatuses, right? The difference is very simple, among all the other differences that you know, that there is a me that is most important. That is you. There is a you, and then there are different things that is useful or usable as part of your being for you as tools. And brain is one of them. And you used to live without the kind of brain that we have today for a million years. But now this, what has been added to us since 40,000 years ago, is now taken over because it's so complicated in here. But you always forget, you always should focus on the fact that I don't care how complicated it is, I care about the fact that it has been added to me. There is a me before this was added. So this cannot come and take over the me, because this is not me. If there was no me, there would be no this. But if there is no this, meaning there is no thought ability and speaking ability, there's still gonna be me. See, if I had no ability to talk or think, there would still be me. I would still know who I am, that I need to eat, that I need to sleep, that what kind of a sexual orientation I have, so what kind of a interest I have, what gender is me. I would know all that. I don't need thought to tell me that. I knew that before thought became part of me. I was born when thought didn't exist. I was created in my mother's womb the way I was created, with my gender, genitalia, my sexual inclination, all programmed in me. However and whoever, whatever gender you are, this was done in your mother's womb before thought became a part of your abilities. Thought didn't exist when you were being put together, when your heart, liver, kidneys, genitalia, gender, everything else was put together the way it was being created in your mother's womb. There was no thought. Thought came to you, abilities of it, after you were even born, a few months or year after. Then you were able to speak and think and so on and so forth. So when you were being put together in your gender and however you're put together, there was no thought present. And therefore, there would be no role for any thought to try to threaten your gender or who you are, how you've been put together, ever, because it just cannot be done. The chromosomes and how you've been put together did not come from thought. Therefore, it cannot be taken away by thought. Doesn't matter how many million times it shows up. If you understand this, then you understand that the powerful brain is imposing these thought-based suggestions, ideas, and images, and that's all they are, thought-based, not biological-based. So knowing that this is an impossibility that the brain is trying to impose on you, then you'll say the jig is up. Fuck off thoughts. There is a me, I'm the boss. And I see through. These are intrusive thoughts, OCD, HOCD, and I'm not fooling for it anymore. I'm not falling for it anymore. I'm not being fooled for it. So no more bamboozling. Yeah, it's going to be annoying because brain is very powerful. If you watch my video number 7 in Intrusive, Transient, OCD, HOCD, Negative Thoughts, video number 7, I have a demonstration there that shows you how powerful mind is, how powerful the brain is, that you can use it if you know how to train it, how to use it. It can help you to become very powerful and also use it in your accomplishing what the task you want to accomplish and become successful in whatever it is that you want to be successful at. But if you don't know it, the same way it can actually go rogue and just, make all these kind of intrusive and irrelevant discussions and suggestions that could bamboozle you. So you got to be smart in that. Why? Because there is a me, there is a you first, and these things are apparatuses. So treat them as they are. They settle down. I'm not going to fall for you. You suggest these inappropriate things that is not useful to me and they're meaningless to me. And that is known to me because I have a core principles. I have wise advocate. My genes and gender and wiring up is already aware of who I am, what I am. You cannot change that by thought. And therefore, for that reason, I'm not going to be fooled by your suggestion, just as I won't be fooled by if I'm walking in the street and if I'm a child or I'm a kid or I'm a teenager or I'm an adult, somebody walks behind me and says, hey, what if I just do this to you? You say, fuck off. Or you just simply move on, or you call the police, hey, there's a pervert behind me. Now, same thing, your brain is trying to be a pervert. So recognize it and understand it's a separate system, like it's a separate person in the street that is is a intrusive, is an intruder, is a pervert. So to you, depending on your gender, certain suggestions or behavior or images or thoughts are intrusive and are contrary to your interests, therefore they are irrelevant to you. And to a heterosexual, these sort of thoughts is like a pervert following you when you're a kid or when you're an adult. There are all kinds of people out here. At any age, they are intrusive to you, to your life, to your sexuality, and because they are trying to get what it is that they're interested in. And you're supposed to be aware of that and simply move away from them or defend yourself. Stand your ground. And therefore, you won't be influenced by that nonsense. Same thing with the brain suggests something, you gotta know it. And when you recognize it, you diss it and recognize it as intrusive thought, HOCD, and you move on. And you rewire yourself until the HOCD, these sort of thought, the brain understands that, hey, there's no interest here. I'm wasting my time. and he is smarter than me. He knows what these are, that he's not interested in that. It's not pertaining him. Therefore, he doesn't respond to that. And that not responding rewires the brain to behave properly and show these intrusive thoughts less and less. And if it ever shows up again, then you know what it is, and it's easier to deal with it every time. But it's part of being a human being. There's nothing wrong with you. It's these thoughts are there, part of existence of so many things in this world. So okay, but you decide what's not pertaining to you, useful to you, and you just move on away from it. That's how we deal in life. That's how we roll. All right. Yeah, right, Ash. All right. So let's see who we have here. Ash says, just one final thing to add to my wall of texts. Okay, you said it, I didn't. But on your way out from the church, you may put the donation to the donating box. And he says, just one final thing to add to my wall of text. I do feel like I've lost that ability to have fun now. I'm happy to be able to make you and others laugh sometimes. But in reality, I feel dead inside. Well, you feel dead because you allow this feeling to seem and to be dominating your life while you are the dominating factor, not the things that comes to your mind. You have allowed the mind, the brain, to be the tune setter of your life. You know? To be the leader of how you feel, your mood, your feelings. Just tell it, look, you're nothing without me. See, that's the whole thing. Without you, there's no thoughts. But without thoughts, there is a you. So you are the boss. And command it. Use your authority in action, in life. Become that leader that needs to lead you out of this whole bullshit of darkness. Like the mentors in Harry Potter, these thoughts try to destroy your life. You rise above it. You're stronger because you're the surviving. You're the species. You are the living being, not thoughts. Don't treat them like that. Treat them like shit. And now, on the idea of that you have lost the ability to laugh, well, let me bring this up to your knowledge. Has there been any occasion that when you're watching a movie or doing something that you don't have any of these thoughts there? Has there been a moment that you don't remember what you're dealing with, that what you have to do? Because right now, because of dealing with it all the time and constantly trying to reason with it instead of just simply ignoring it, you have reconditioned yourself to be thinking about this. So you've become really good at having this in your mind all the time. What I want you to do is to focus on the moments that you actually don't think of this. And when you don't think of it, you're perfectly healthy and balanced and happy. So it's all about if it's in your mind or it's not. It's not that there is really something that stops you from being happy and funny. It's only happens that you feel that way when you are thinking about these things, when it's in your mind. When it's not in your mind, you are yourself. So it's all about, am I thinking about it so it affects my normal being? Or when I'm not thinking about it, I'm naturally who I've always been. So it's about recognizing this curtain to be pulled away, because you right behind it have always been there, you'll always be there, the same as you've always been. So all it is to not think about this, not play with it, not give it importance, so it will naturally disappear. It only appears when you think about it, when you allow it to be concerned, when you somehow understand that this is not a reality, it is simply a thought-based, which has no existence, has no reality and actuality to it. It's illusory, and you're falling for the illusion of this thing being real. But it is not real. Because if it was real, you would be behaving like what you're afraid to be behaving at this very moment. You would be planning to go and meet and find and somehow find scrupulous ways and designing ways to meet that guy that you saw in the grocery, to become friend and sleep with the guy. That's a conscious way of being what you're afraid of being. But you're not that. You're actually thinking about, that bothers me, how can I stay away from it? Because these are all fear-based, that is suggestions that the thought has created based on the fact, and the reason they're fearful, because you're totally against it. You're completely opposite of it. That's why you're afraid of losing what you love, which is your lifestyle, which how you've always been. So it's just fear that usually starts from the brain stem, the amygdala part. The anxiety and the fear, danger, sense of danger. Why is there a sense of danger? There must be something that you love, that therefore it can have an opportunity for danger to be created against it. What is that? It's danger. What kind of danger? Danger of what you're thinking, which means you're opposite of the danger, which means the reason you have these fears because you are a heterosexual and you love what you are. You love who you are. And because you love it so much and you're perfectionist, you are constantly feeling the danger of, what if I'm not? Because you have an OCD, and that is a doubting disease. Otherwise, there is nothing in reality and actuality wrong with you. It's all illusory things that you have bought into it because the sense of fear and danger of it is real. Because that sense of anxiety and fear is real, therefore you think the actual what you're anxious for and fearful of is real. No, that's not real. There is no homosexuality in you. The fear and danger of being one is real, is what you're feeling, not the actuality of what you're afraid of being, which you are not. When the fear, you can feel the fear, because amygdala makes you anxious, and sense of danger shows up as instinctively as animals. It's our animalistic sense of danger, sense of protecting myself. That feeling can come up for anything. Even you see a movie, but it's not real, but because that sense of protecting mechanism in the amygdala is always active like an animal to protect you. When that creates, whether the thought creates that danger or that danger comes and the thought comes, regardless of which is first, you simply feel that danger and anxiety, and because that feeling is real, you think the actual accusation or suggestion real. That's not real. Just the feeling, because of the thought, is real. The fear of that thought is real. That is how we are built to protect ourselves. The anxiety, the fear, the danger is always fear and taken seriously because we are designed to protect ourselves. But because that is real, you think the actual accusation, thought, suggestion, and that you might or this or that is real. No, that's not real. That's a thought that couples with the anxiety, and the danger makes you feel, based on the danger being felt, you think that what danger refers to is real, which is homosexuality in your case. And that same thing could go on for the homosexuals who may feel they're heterosexual, and that would be their fear and HOCD. So in all genders is the same, but this is all the play of the brain. Nothing biological is changing in you. But the brain is so powerful that makes all these things, as illusory as they are, seem to be real, because the brain doesn't understand the difference between actuality and virtuality. Huh? That's why with your imaginations you can do many things and feel many things. You can be, even a movie, you can be afraid, you can be happy, because those feelings and emotions can be created by thoughts. But the actual scenario and actual thing that the thought has created, the emotions, and the emotions are real, are not real, and they cannot be created by thoughts. You know, the thought can make you feel or react or be scared or be whatever. You know, I can think of something sour right now. The thought of that sour grape, that sour fruit, that sour green grape in the vineyard, the thought of it put in my mouth, and the lemon, start salivating. But there is no lemon. I'm reacting to thought, but there is no real lemon. I'm not having a lemon. So because the thought is real, I'm not supposed to be fooled to think there's actually lemon in my hand or the sour grape in my hand. Same principle, whether it carries this example properly or not. But as I just said a few minutes ago, the feelings that you feel or the reaction to a thought, because brain is so powerful, creates that danger or that emotion, whatever it may be, anxiety, fear, that could be felt, and that could be felt as real, like you feel when you watch a scary movie. But the act of that scary movie that made you feel the way you feel, the act of the suggestion of the thought that makes you be fearful and feel danger and anxiety of whatever it is that popped up into the brain, doesn't exist. It's illusory, all of it. I want to bring your attention to that. Once you understand that, then you understand it's a hoax that you react to. Smoke screen. No reality. But you react to it. Look, in the World War time, when the airplanes of the enemy would arrive close to that territory, the alarms would go on. You know, in World War II, in Britain or any other parts that they were involved in the war, the alarm would go on when the aircrafts seemed to be coming over, the bombers coming over the city. The alarm, boo, boo, and then everybody automatically would do what? Turn the lights off, pull the curtains, right? Turn the lights off, pull the curtains. Reactive, reactionary for protection. Yeah? That's what they had to do. And they had done 100 times. And that's the way they would protect themselves. And sometimes the alarm would go on, and because of the alarm, people would turn the lights and pull the curtain. But there was no bombers. It was a malfunction. But the reaction to the malfunction was the same as if there was a bomber. Everybody shut the lights off and put the curtains. But there was no bombers. So our reactions to danger is always the same. But because our reaction is the same toward the danger, doesn't mean the actual danger is there. Our fear from the danger makes us react in a certain way, as we always did. Bombers coming, alarm goes on, we turn lights off and close the curtains. Now, alarm goes off, we turn the lights on, close the curtains, but there are no bombers, but we still react the same way. So when there's a danger that the brain, strong brain, powerful brain brings a bullshit thought, but then we react to thought as fear and danger because we are programmed to protect ourselves from such things, which is against our inclination, against our system, to each people differently, but in this case, it's against your system. It reacts, and when it reacts, you feel the danger, you feel the fear, you feel the anxiety, and that feeling is real reaction to that thought which the brain has made you recognize. But the actual what you're afraid and the anxiety and the fear and danger is all about doesn't exist. That's illusory. When you understand that, then you say the jig is up. HOCD is a fucking hoax. I'm not going to follow my fear and thinking because there's a fear, there's a reality. No, there's no actuality. Because the brain doesn't understand any difference between actuality and virtuality. So on that note, let me have a bit of tea, and hopefully that would be helpful for you to deal with this nonsense. All right. Let's see. So who have I missed? Because it's been so back and forth here, I don't know who have I missed here. Everything says this is the first time I'm listening to you, and I want to say that the best explanation of OCD that I have ever heard, and also the best cure. Okay, great. You have a lot more on this channel. I have 2 playlists specifically made for this. One is called Intrusive, Transient, OCD, HOCD, Negative Thoughts. And the other one, which I bank on that more because it doesn't talk about the interpretation and why this feeling, why that feeling, why you think this way, none of that, because that's irrelevant really. It focuses on the behavior of the brain and thoughts and relationship between thoughts, brain, and you. That's the one. And that playlist is called Intrusive OCD, HOCD Short Videos. And I warn you, it's not really that short, but most of them are short. And I have put out amazing, I must say amazing, because I really enjoy it, because I think it's helpful. And new videos that I have uploaded, and yesterday and today uploaded part 1 and part 2, the new 3 series, or series, I don't know how many will go, that it says why you talk to your brain. And that could be helpful in some ways. And there are many other videos in that playlist, Intrusive, OCD, HOCD, short videos. And I want everybody to watch those videos because it will help you to understand a little bit more about your brain. And there are other things that I've put in recently, like get to know your brain deeper. And these are very important things that most people don't realize. And then I have many of the links of different scientists and psychotherapists and famous in the world, and their work is so amazingly helpful to people, and they've helped so many people. You can find those links, and like Dr. Philipson, Dr. Jan Weiner, Dr. Schwartz, their studies and the clinical tests that for example, in Dr. Schwartz's presentations, he explains the experiment that Dr. Grable with her postdoctorate student Kyle Smith has done from MIT, and explains the neuroscience of habit and how they have proven how it works in rats, and the explanation of the experiment is so clear, it's so interesting, and it helps you to understand the role of caudate nucleus, the striatum, all these things, orbital prefrontal cortex, and the roles they play in all these dysfunctions and how it malfunctions. It's very interesting. And of course, I hope that in not necessarily scientific way, but in a different way, my research on movement of mind can be also a helpful addition to all these scientific facts. And thank you for that, everything. Thank you for the kind words. Jeremy Bailey says, thank you so much for your help, Mehran. My problem is I never talked about how I felt about things, and it all comes out at once. I need to be more open with it. Yes, of course. Of course. Everybody's a human being. If they cannot understand or discuss or explore it together, then they're a wrong match anyhow. FR8 says, oh, sorry, I didn't know this for people who are 18 but haven't. Oh, you're quite welcome. You're quite welcome. Thank you for understanding. Jeremy says her birthday is coming up in a few weeks, so maybe that's the time I'll make contact. Sure, why not? Or you can make contact sooner if you want. You don't have to wait for that. Jeremy says, Mehran, I'll be sure to become a member to your channel when I go back downstairs. You helped me for 6 months after my last breakup via your videos. Thanks, man. You're quite welcome. Yeah, fix that word. He says, thanks, ma'am. Last I check, you know. He corrects us, says, man. And Jeremy says, I have recommended your video to other guys in the past too. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. I really encourage you guys to share the videos you like on your social media. Let people know that this channel exists, because honestly, I don't think the content that we have is out there. It's very unique and very helpful, and I'm unanimous on that. So I need your support, because we are lost in the sea of YouTube. We are not found. They don't even know we exist. I mean, we only have, 21,000 subscribers, which we should be having 21 million in my estimation, because this is a worldwide challenge in all the things that we discuss here. But so I need your help. I need you to announce the live streams or announce the channel being in existence, share the videos on your social media, talk about it in chat lines and forums and so on, and understand and help people to know that there's help available. You got to get to know about your psyche, and that's what we do here. And so Ash says, I'll take the donation box and buy a fucking clue with the money. And Ash says, you're right. I recognize everything you're saying. Maybe I need some mindfulness, but I feel like all of these stupid doubts stem from lack of action and confidence. You take it so seriously. Ever since childhood, you've been programmed to. We all have been programmed to prove ourselves, and this proving ourselves turns into perfectionism, and then perfectionism turns into, I got to check everything to make sure I'm perfect, because I want to be perfect, and I think I'm perfect. Therefore, I got to make sure that I'm perfect, and I got to make sure that I did make sure. And all that shit is just what the behavior of the brain is. Don't fall for it. Tell them go to hell. And Type O Negative says, hey, Mehran, 22 male USA. Hello, Type O Negative. And Ash says, right on, Mehran. Thanks again. My hippocampus is probably the size of a pea right now. I'll take your advice on board for once. Yeah, good. IO Logs says, you tend to suggest seeing things as illusory, all in the mind, as a remedy to heartbreak. No, we're talking about OCD and HOCD. You came to the party a little bit late, so you got to watch from the beginning. No, we talk about many things on this channel and at this live streams. Sometimes the question is about heartbreak or A breakup and sometimes is about many other things, including OCD, HOCD, and movement of the brain, and so on and so forth. So you're mixing them up together. And yeah, Eolog says it's difficult to see any relationships as meaningful from this. Yeah, it's difficult to understand really what you're saying too, because you haven't really been with the live stream from the beginning. Maybe you're mixing up. There's several different things we talk about here. So chill and maybe watch the recording. You will know. And type O negative says, how do I know if this girl is interested in me? Well, when she gives you her phone number, you know she's interested. Says, I got her number. Oh, you did a few days ago, and I want to hang out with her as friends. I met her 1 month ago, and this week she has begun to trust me and like me more. Okay, hallelujah, good for you. So what's the big deal? And Ash says, Maron, my question have made your face red. I apologize. No, that's all right. When I get excited and into the discussion, that's how it happens. As long as I haven't died, then it's okay. Not to worry. But if I die, the ugly stick will come after you. And Ross says, Ross says, hey Meran, male 31 UK, I'm fed up with how easy it is for my ex to go on a dating site and find someone better looking than me because she's attractive. She can have anyone. No usually like me in that, and no one usually likes me in that. Well, look, come on. Girls always have an easy time to find a guy. Why? Because the guy is just want the girl to show up. Doesn't have any other expectations. Simple. So they're all drawn to a pretty girl. That's how they're designed. They're heterosexual male. They love women, and the woman is pretty to their taste, and so they're attracted to her. So it's not like you're fed up with it. That's how it is. Women are attractive, and we're gravitating towards them. So that's how it is. But what their quality and mentality and consciousness is all about is what determines the relationship lasts or not. So if it doesn't, and they realize that, because what keeps the relationship together is not how they look, because if that was the case, well, there are many good-looking actors and pretty actresses in Hollywood, and they get together, they get married, but then they get divorced. How come? They're both good-looking, the man is good-looking, and the girl is pretty, so how come? So it's not the pretty that makes the relationship or breaks the relationship. It's the bonding on the consciousness level. So these girls who find other guys attracted to them, okay, they go and have a relationship, but eventually they break up if they're not meeting on consciousness level. So doesn't matter how many dates she goes on. If it's gonna work, it's gonna work based on what they are in their consciousness, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. So why would you be worried about how many dates she goes on and how difficult it is for you to find a date on dating site? Because we men are not looked upon by women as we look at women and choose women. We are mostly visual. We see a pretty girl, we think, oh, she's got all the qualifications I ever wanted in life. Because we give her all the other qualifications that she hasn't proven or doesn't deserve even, we give it to her for free. She's pretty, therefore she's smart, she's loyal, she's unselfish, she's dedicated, she's faithful, and she's motherly, and she's marrying material, and she is amazing, she is probably a good cook, she's everything there. Why? All because you're excited. You're sexually aroused because when that happens, when you like a pretty girl, your brain stops working. You see nothing else. All other good qualities that you want a desirable woman to have, you give it to her without any qualification or question. No interview. You just boom. She's pretty. She's in high heels and all dude up. She's the right girl. How? Because you stop functioning when you see a pretty girl. That's how it works. That's why most men make a mistake when they actually choose their girl in a short time period without knowing each other's consciousness. And that breaks down. But when you're on a dating site, the girls have got so many guys on the dating site coming after them if they're pretty, and the girls can't tell anything from these guys who approach her other than their looks. So if the guy is good looking, the girl will choose him, but later on they find out if it was the right choice or not. So don't be bothered, because the girls are not choosing us the way that we actually seem to be choosing them at the onset. So stop being a wussy and just go at it, and then do your due diligence and find if a woman is qualified or not, and expect a lot more from the woman that you think you should, and then qualify them, and then on that basis you have a better chance to find things in common, and perhaps that would have a better chance to become something. All right. And Type O says, I got her number if it was, she's trusting and like me more. And then Type O says, because I listened to some of her problems and gave her advice, how do I avoid becoming her emotional support pillow and staying in the friend zone? Simply tell her, say, I really care about you and I would like to help you, but honestly, I'm not interested to know, to help you or to know about your relationships or problems with other guys. I'm a guy, I'm here because I like you, and that's all. I am not interested to be friend zone with you. I'm interested to see if we have anything in common and we deserve to get to know each other on that note. Simple, come right out and say it, because you don't have that time. And before you know it, you become her girlfriend instead of, possibly boyfriend. So stop that right from the bat. You can help for a couple of times, and after that says, you know what? I think that's the end of my role as a consultant to your relationship problems, because I'm actually interested in you intimately. I want to get to know you for me. I'm not going to shine you up for somebody else. So you out there, you just put your dime in the telephone and you're waiting for it to drop. It says, I'm in line for you, not for you to be groomed for others. Simple. Don't beat behind the bushes. Nicely, politely, but assertively. Indilagani says, Mehran, my girlfriend has had... what happened to the prototype, Indilagani? Have I missed it? I mean, protocol, not prototype. I gotta know, because I forget, even though I know who you guys are, but I don't know who you guys are. I forget, like age, gender, where you're tuning in from. I know you've been here before many times, and I know about you, of course, but I just want to remind myself, because I don't know the age and all that. And Dilugani says, Mehran, my girlfriend has had 20 plus previous partners who she has had intimacy with. I feel a little awkward and insecure about this. I'm not sure how to feel about this. 23 male, London. How old is she? You know, I mean, what if you had 20 girlfriends? You wouldn't question that, would you? So, she did that too. Steven says, I think people don't appreciate you until you remove yourself from them. My ex, yeah, maybe that's what I should do. I should remove myself from this channel so you guys start appreciating, no? Not you guys, the ones who don't. That's a good advice, Stephen. And says, my ex has been contacting me wanting to get back. I'm not going to. I know with this new girl, if I leave her alone and maybe disappear a little, she'd show more interest. I'm going to try my best now to shift the focus on myself. Don't you dare responding to that ex. Just don't fall for that bullshit. That ex is more real than the earthquakes in San Francisco or the ones that is supposedly gonna happen someday. It's very on solid ground, that girl is, from what you guys been experiencing. So, and don't be impatient, and don't make this one like, I don't know, the best thing from sliced bread or whatever. Just be cool about it. So what's the big deal? She's another human being. It's nothing really that special. As I said, you gave her the specialty. So don't get me to repeat everything. Otherwise, the ugly stick will show up. All right. Ash says, Ross woman. Okay, you're talking to Ross. And Ilgani says, she's 22, London. She's 22 years old and I've had 20 boyfriends. Huh. That's what she wanted to do. So it would be okay if you had it. So I guess it's okay if she has it. Don't feel insecure at all. She's with you. That means out of all that, none of them were good enough, but you are. So if that's how you want to think. Steven says, okay, I won't marry. Good. All right, guys. It's over 2 hours and 30 minutes. Wow. It was supposed to be just 1 hour, but hey, we had a good time, and I hope you guys got something out of it. And it's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here. Don't forget to promote the channel. God damn it. Don't do that. We're going to die before people really find out that they can use this channel to better themselves and help themselves and, find ways to move on and bring that balance to themselves. So don't be selfish. Share the videos you like on your social media. Find the things that is appropriate and that it's short and people would learn something from it, and introduce the channel that way. So I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to talk to you again. Hopefully I'll have another one tonight at 9 or 9:30 for the Asian countries and New Zealand and Australia and so on. But I look forward to talk to you again next week at 1 o'clock Saturdays, and also on 9 p.m. on Saturday. And in the meantime, be good to yourself, to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.